1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Welcome back to the TMCJ podcast. We're in episode 84. And,
we're getting pretty close to the big old 3 digits.
We are. We slowed down a little bit going to the bi-weekly schedule, but,
Yeah.
we're still chugging along. And
Good.
those observant among you might have noticed that we did 2 podcasts in a row this week. That's because our movie night has been delayed. So you get 2 podcasts in a row, and then whatever we watch for movies next.
Yeah, and it's going to be a good one.
It is going to be a good one. Do you want? It is Blazing
No.
Saddles. You know. Oh, sorry, I already said it. I spoiled it.
Yeah, it's going to be risque, I believe, is the term. But it also looks very funny, and it's not in support of the thing that it's going to be talking about. It's making a joke of it, which is going to get a lot of people very angry.
Yeah,
but it's very funny.
People need to unpucker their buttholes. Jokes are jokes. Deal with it.
Yeah.
So but that's not what we're talking about right now.
No.
We have a few topics, and also I should preview this. A few topics for segment 1, but segment 3 we're bringing back the quiz segment. So look forward to that. It's been a while since we've done one. Blue will be quizzing me. But without further ado, my first topic: Elon Musk is buying Twitter.
Yes, you told me this a few days ago.
Yeah, I've collected a few more details. We
think it's out of just him having... I mean, everything Elon Musk does is out of shits and giggles, but his spite for the way that the service is run, which, frankly, I can't blame him, because I don't think I can think of a worse social media... Actually, no, I think TikTok's worse. But it's a close second for my most hated, really.
Yeah, I mean, I found it basically tolerable years ago, because I have only had a Twitter account once, and that was back in 2015 or 2016, I don't really remember, and it was kind of entertaining to watch. Like, I'd follow people, like, basically, most of the people I followed were personalities I watched on YouTube. So it was kind of interesting, because I found them entertaining on YouTube, and I found it interesting to watch some of the shit posting and silly conversations they'd have off of YouTube. Yeah. I was horribly unproductive anytime I used that. So I had a Twitter account for about 6 months, got rid of it, haven't used it since.
See, we made a Twitter account for the TMCJ podcast briefly, but it really we quickly worked out it wasn't the crowd, especially because most of the episodes we put up ended up being about hating Twitter.
There is that too. Yeah, I think that's a modern thing. But this is all leading into like what brought this about, presumably. Twitter has over the years gotten shittier and shittier and shittier. Because
I think it reached a peak shitness a few years ago, and it's been coasting as far as I'm concerned.
That's probably fair. I don't know. They
filled the tank.
They filled the tank of shittiness. I think a lot of it too is like they've been banning tons and tons of people for.
Yeah, it started with Trump, I guess.
Yeah. That was kind of the peak of Twitter's popularity, because everyone wanted to go online and see what kind of crazy shit the dude was going to say.
Yeah.
But that's not important. So for a couple weeks, and I've done a little bit of digging as to what exactly was going on, because I just knew when we talked about it, I just knew that he was buying it, essentially. Well, not buying it, but he was buying a ton of stock in it. He had apparently been posting polls in the lead up to this happening of him going like, oh, what do you think about, do you think Twitter should have an edit button? It's like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? Should this be a feature? And I don't know. I'm wondering, like, I think a lot of people were wondering if he was going to make his own social media, like his own version of Twitter or something, because everyone seems to be doing that now. There's like a million of them. But no, then he bought 9-point-something% of Twitter's stock for like a few $1 billion. And people are like, oh shit, like maybe he's gonna just like buy out the company and then just force them to not be shit. And I that this is what happened after that though. The CEO of Twitter invited him to join the board of Twitter.
Okay.
And then he started posting memes. Like the famous one of him from the Joe Rogan podcast of him smoking a blunt. And he posted this himself, and it was just a picture of him, that clip of him smoking a blunt, and with the subtitle, Twitter's next board meeting is going to be lit. And, like, just stupid shit like that. He just, like, you know, here's another one. Looking forward to working with Perig and the Twitter board to make significant improvements to Twitter in the coming months. And then he told them no. He wasn't going to join the board.
Right.
And
why?
I was looking around, and one of the opinions I found was this: if he joins the board, he is restricted from doing what's called a hostile takeover. He can't actually act in what the other board members think is against Twitter's interest. And he also can't buy more than 14 or something % of the stock. But if he doesn't join the board, he has enough money to buy Twitter 10 times over.
Oh yeah, I mean, money is not a thing in this, really.
Yeah, so he could literally, so by not joining the board, he's actually more of a threat to Twitter, because he could just go, fuck it, I'll buy another 40%, and now I'm the majority stockholder.
I mean, it makes sense. It's like one kingdom asking Elon to marry one of their children, and then Elon can't blow them all up and kill them all because he's married into the family. Relative. Yeah.
But now he's free to declare war.
Yeah, he's like, nah, I'm good.
But I just
vengeance over Nookie.
I think Elon Musk is probably the best human being that could have been the richest man on Earth. Because all he does is make crazy inventions and shitpost.
Yeah, it's good. We've got a few eccentric billionaires out there, and
who's the other one you're thinking of?
God, the fucking Facebook guy, Zuck.
Oh, Zuckerberg. But Zuckerberg's like a robot. I'm convinced that guy's an android.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't know how to do human emotions. I just remember when he had showed up.
He tries at least. He's like a kicked puppy.
He does, and I honestly feel bad for him sometimes. Like, all those pictures of him when he had to like testify before Congress, and he just looked like he was shitting himself.
Yeah. No, I think it's good to because neither of them are hurting people. To the best of my knowledge, they're just kind of living life free kind of thing.
The one distinction that I would make is Zuckerberg created something that I'm fairly certain has been actively harmful to the human species.
What, Facebook?
Yeah. And then Elon Musk has made stuff like really efficient, like spaceships that can do multiple re-entries. He made a flamethrower.
Well, yeah, but a flamethrower is the exact kind of thing that disproves your argument, guys.
That's true. He made Teslas too. They're pretty good. They're probably the best electric cars going. I still have a reserve on this.
Those silent, really fast, pretty heavy machines that fly down the roads. Yeah, those things never hurt anyone.
They have autopilot, and they don't
has
crash
that always worked? No.
So fun fact that will probably make people nervous the next time they fly. Planes are perfectly capable of landing, taking off, and doing everything themselves. They have great autopilot. Almost every plane crash is caused by pilot error. So basically, if you took the pilot out, you'd probably have less plane crashes.
That sounds a little bit spurious. I'm sure a lot of the cheaper jets...
It is a statistic I'm taking from Top Gear, so it could be complete bullshit because it came from Jeremy Clarkson.
Is mild.
I should full disclaimer. That could be complete bullshit.
Yeah. But no. What were we
Also,
talking about?
we were talking about Elon Musk buying Twitter, but that's
Right,
really as
yes.
far as our. I wanted to go with it. The fact that he just blew $3 billion just to make
Yeah,
Twitter
I mean,
sweat.
if you can afford it, then why not? And I guess it'll make him some money back eventually.
Yeah, even if it doesn't, he's got the kind of money that he could piss away $3 billion, and I mean, I think his net worth is something like $290 billion or something like that. Like he's got enough.
He's gonna have to work real hard to spend that much.
Yeah, I remember back when I was in college, there was a statistic that just the amount of money that at the time Bill Gates was the richest person around,
Yep.
and like the amount of money he was making per second was something like $150 per second.
Yeah.
And so the statistic was like if he found $100 bill on the ground, it would be a waste of money for him to pick it up because he would have made more. Just that's not actually how that works, but
yeah,
that was the metaphor.
To be that rich. Well, that's the thing. Everyone has always said like money changes you and that kind of thing. I feel like Elon is kind of a living testament to the the fact that it isn't always the case.
Yeah.
You don't have to be an arsehole to be rich. So don't use it as an excuse, I guess.
Yeah, because the way he got rich, like him and his brother came, they emigrated with like no money. They made a company, sold it for like $1 million once it was like successful. Then they were some of the co-founders of PayPal, sold that, made him more money, and then he started all these other companies. And like the dude's just like he's made money doing like improving the world, as far as I can tell. Yeah. And he seems to still be just a gamer shit poster.
Yeah. The dream.
All right, well, that's my topic.
Yes, let's move on to a very different kind of topic. I went on to with Alicia to watch Little Shop of Horrors the other day, which you've never seen.
No, I haven't.
I had never seen, and I wasn't even sure what it was about. I'd heard it was. Someone told me it was similar to Rocky Horror Picture Show.
So clarify quickly: is this a movie or is this like a play?
This is a musical.
A musical, but it's live people performing. Okay.
Yeah. So I was told it was somewhat similar to Rocky Horror Picture Show, which I kind of disagree with. As I told you, I think it's kind of more similar to that of Sweeney Todd, if Sweeney Todd was a comedy, or if there was like Triffids. Do you know what a Triffid is?
Probably no.
It's a very old book. So basically, I'll do a quick span of the synopsis of the plot. Is that the word?
Yeah.
There's a shitty little shop in a shitty little part of town which sells flowers, and the owner can't basically afford to stay open. He has a shop assistant girl called it's not Annabelle, but we're gonna say Annabelle.
Okay. Anna something.
Yes, and then there's also a boy who is like a nerdy kid that has no home or parents, and we're gonna call him Derek because I'm bad with names. So one day, the manager's like, right, you two, we're gonna have to close down the shop because no one's buying the flowers, and the kid, the guy Derek, has a special plant he found in the alleyway that he's been nurturing, and it looks like a kind of weird exotic Venus flytrap kind of thing. And it's so extravagant and interesting that people visit the shop and buy other flowers. when they leave it in the just yeah,
You know,
it's a comedy.
That's perfectly fair. Like there's shops that will have like one really cool item there, and then they'll come in there just to see that, and then they'll browse around and buy some other shit. But go on.
Exactly. So they don't sell that thing; they just keep it like in display. And it starts growing, and then it starts dying and getting sick. And Derek is on his own with the plant one night, and he pricks his finger, and the plant seems to react to blood, and wants to eat the blood. And the plant starts growing faster and faster and faster. In the meantime, the lady who I called Annabelle,
Yeah, you did.
is getting abused by her boyfriend, and there's
As is wont to happen in musicals.
it's quite a dark humor, but basically, it becomes very obvious that her boyfriend is very abusive. Like broke her arm at one point, and then he comes in wearing like a leather jacket and stuff, and we're like, oh, okay, he's clearly evil. And they're like, okay, well, why are you so evil? And he says, oh, since I was a child, I was, kicking puppies and that kind of thing. And far worse than that is they say very bad things, but I'm keeping it PG.
Okay.
And then he's like, and then I grew up to do the perfect job of being a dentist. He takes off the leather jacket and there's like a dentist's apron. And he's just like this fucked up guy that has like happy gas.
What does he just like obsess his sadist nature by forgetting to give people Novocaine and drilling anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so the kid's in the shop with the plant. And he's like, oh, things aren't going well, or I can't remember why he's panicking. He's panicking about something, and then suddenly the plant starts talking to him in like a very deep voice, like this. And it's huge at this point. And it's very hungry, and the kid's running out of blood. Oh, that's why he's panicking, probably, because he's like running out of blood in his hands, because he's pricking them to feed the plant.
Yeah.
And the plant's like, I need to eat a whole human now. And so obviously the kid takes a gun that's in the flower shop, like, till or something, just pulls out a revolver, like, yeah, really need that protection for a flower shop. Gone.
I was going to say, there is a remarkable number of works of media I can think of flower shop owners being, like, violent. So, first of all, during the beer wars in Chicago, during Prohibition in the U.S., one of the major players owned a flower shop. He was gunned down in front of it. In the Disney movie Atlantis, the guy who deals with explosives and just blows everything up owned a flower shop. Like I don't know why there's a there's a penchant for flower shops and violence, but go on.
Jeez. The plant looks like P.T. Piranha at this point, by the way.
Nice.
And so he takes the revolver and he goes to the dentist's office. And a guy staggers out of the dentist's office with like blood all down his face, screaming. And the dentist's there and he's like, hey, yeah, I should check your teeth out right now. And he kind of finagles the gun out of the boy's hands, puts him in the chair, and pulls out like a rusty drill. And he's like, I'm just going to get this is going to be a lot of fun for me, the dentist. I'm going to go get my special mask to have extra fun. And he goes back and gets this, like, it looks a lot like, you've seen Mad Max, right? The newest one.
I have, yeah.
Bit rude. The evil guy in that, with the mask, it looks a lot like that. It looks very creepy.
I was going to guess he came out dressed like, Scarecrow from Batman, but that's pretty close. Either way, horror mask.
Yeah, so he had like 2 gas canisters strapped to his face, basically, and then he couldn't get the mask off, and he was choking to death on this gas. And the kid's like, he's got the revolver, and he's like, I guess I don't even need to shoot him now. I'm just gonna let him die in front of me.
Drag him back to the flower.
Yep, drags him back to the flower, cuts his body up, and feeds him to the flower. Then he says that also everyone just thinks that the dentist has like gone away, gone on holiday or something.
Yeah, as dentists do.
Yeah, and the shop owner, who is surprisingly canny. Oh, before that, so the flower made them lots of publicity, and the shop owner asked the kid, Derek, to be his son because he didn't want Derek to switch to a different flower shop and take the flower with him. So they are now father and son, like legally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he even made it legal. The shop owner comes over to Derek and is like, so there are spots of red on the floor in the flower shop, and that dentist has been gone for a very long time, and also there are a bunch of bloody rags in the bin outside. So he puts things together surprisingly succinctly for a character in a story.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid's like, oh god, I'm so sorry. Just reach into the plant over there for a second.
What
just
the
feeds
fuck?
his now father to the plant.
Is this kid supposed to be the hero? Does he eventually get eaten?
The kid, it gets worse, trust me. So the kid has a massive crush on the girl who he's now killed the boyfriend of.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you here.
Okay.
You can compare this to like a comedy Sweeney Todd, and already the difference I'm seeing right off the bat is at least Sweeney Todd I could empathize with a little bit. Like, he's had his life fucked over, he's bitter against the whole world, he's out there for vengeance. I can get it. This kid is just a straight up fucking sociopath. Like, what the fuck is wrong with him?
Derek was an orphan who was basically picked up by the shop owner and has lived in the shop his entire life, just working for free.
So he actually is basically like this guy's surrogate son. Because that's what a lot of kids do when their families own a business. I, for instance, my mother owned a daycare. I worked in a daycare since I was 2.
Yeah.
I didn't get paid shit.
But you didn't sleep in a flower shop and you got some level of amenities.
Okay, I guess that's right. I don't know. Did the guy live in the... Okay, I don't need these details.
The father was... The character... The shop owner, he was one of my favourite characters. He was really funny.
But go on.
Anyway, yeah, so the girl... she's like starting to be a little bit happier now. And Derek's like, oh, but if I don't keep feeding the creature, then it'll die, and I'll lose all the fame, and they'll lose the girl. So he says he'll do all these different shows and things with the plant, which the plant hasn't revealed that it can speak to anyone else.
Yeah. Maybe it's only talking in his head.
And then one day he's like, no, fuck you, plant. I'm just gonna let you die because you just constantly want food and you only want to eat human meat. Won't eat animal meat, apparently. Yeah, because that is a question that I asked.
Yeah, can't he just eat, like Alpo or something like that? Give him some bacon.
Apparently it's... No, apparently... And it's something they cover in the plot. It's just humans that it wants. Then the woman comes into the shop and I can't remember what contrived series of events happen, but basically she ends up looking in the plant's mouth and it brutally maims her, but doesn't eat her. So she's like lying on the shop floor, bleeding. And Derek comes in and is like, fuck. And then she looks up at him and she's like, oh, it's alright. We'll be together forever. Just feed me to the plant. and then you take the plant and plant it in your garden, and we'll be together forever.
This bitch is crazier than the kid.
And so he feeds her to the plant. I'm very honest, she's bleeding pretty heavily at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
So she's dead. And then a guy comes in saying, this plant is so amazing, we want to take snippets of it and then spread it everywhere around the world so everyone can have one.
That's not a good idea, but go on.
And the kid's like, oh shit, I can't let this happen. The guy walks out of the building to get his like pliers or whatever, to his crew to start taking snippets. And the kid tries to kill the plant by jumping into its mouth with a machete. And fails.
He had a pistol earlier. What happened to that?
He shoots the thing several times and it just does nothing.
Oh, okay. Bulletproof plant. Gotcha.
Yeah. So he jumps in it literally eats him and spits out the machete.
You know what this kid needed? He needed Elon Musk's
From
flamethrower.
Elon Musk.
Exactly. Oh, God.
Great minds. Yes, so then the people come back in, they're like, oh, well, the guy's not here. We'll just get to work. And so the plant is spread to like every corner of the globe, and they rise up, kill humanity, and take over the world. And that's Little Shop of Horrors.
It's fucking stupid. I mean, don't get me wrong. The general idea of like this being like kind of a horror comedy, you know, a plant, some kind
Obviously,
of a
I
plant.
skipped over like 90% of the jokes because I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, but jokes aside, the plot, like the idea of like something fairly mundane, like an exotic plant growing up and killing humanity and rising up and taking over the world and eliminating everyone. It's a good premise for like a horror plot. You can make it funny, fine. It's just it's a little bit contrived.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy, but
And the kid's a bit of a dumbass. There's like a million ways you could kill that thing. Go in there with some like weed killer and just fumigate the whole place.
yeah, but he doesn't, and yeah.
Sorry, did you have anything else to say?
Well, I definitely enjoyed it. I gotta say, it was a lot of fun to watch. The comedy was definitely very good. Some of the singing was really good.
Yeah.
Because obviously it was a musical, but I'm definitely not going to sing for you. And
That's funny because what my comment was actually a bit musical, but go on.
okay, and yeah, favorite characters. So the shop owner, he, I mean, he played his role very well, and also he was just had so many really good lines. It was brilliant. The main girl, she kind of annoyed me. Just at one point, I looked at her and I was like, "Hang on, is that a guy in drag?" And I was told it was not. But it's because they had like one of those really big fake wigs, and it was quite a tall lady with a pronounced chin.
A bit butch.
And one of the God, yeah, there was some good singers. What were you gonna say? Yeah, what were you gonna say?
I was just thinking. Well, first of all, before I say this, how many ravenous plot devices out of 10 would you give this?
I thought you were gonna say how many Musk flamethrowers. How many ravenous plot devices? I would say, considering it was not this was like a local theatre.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it an 8 because it was actually really good.
8 for that, but the story, if it were performed, say, by a professional troupe.
Well, a high-end...
Yeah, like a high-end
troupe.
theater or something like that. The plot itself.
I think I could go up to to a 9.
You'd go higher, okay.
Yeah, if it was performed by a professional troupe.
No,
then
and see, I was trying to. You were giving him like score, but I was asking more about like the plot itself. So the story you think is actually that good?
I see. Yeah, I think it was good because it was unlike when I was watching Rocky Horror Picture Show. That went a bit too random for my liking.
This one at least had a coherent plot.
This one, yeah, like some of the things they did was a little bit stupid, but compared to a lot of media out there these days,
yeah,
it was pretty solid.
That's one of the that is probably one of the that's a trope that I hope dies soon. The whole lol random humor, break the fourth wall, kind of thing,
and just people being stupid beyond expectation.
Yeah. The thing I was going to say, are you familiar with the song Maxwell's Silver Hammer?
Yes.
That's what I was thinking of when
you sung it several times.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I was thinking of when you were talking about, like, he fed the father, and then he's now talking to the girl, and he's thinking about the ravenous plant. I'm like, oh god, is he going to feed her to it?
Yeah.
And just in my head, I'm just like, clang, clang, Maxwell's silver hammer came down upon her
okay,
head.
I think apparently normally they would have the plant would have spit the girl, well, not spit the girl out. The girl would have escaped the plant and then died, and then after she died, he would have put her body in the plant to dispose of it, right?
Okay.
But our going theory is that in this case the actor was possibly not strong enough to lift her.
And so they modified it to allow it to actually, the performance to go forward.
Yeah.
Alright. That makes sense. Right, well,
yeah.
Entertaining. I'm the number of musicals I've actually liked I can count on one hand, but that one actually
really?
it didn't sound too bad. Like proper musicals, right?
So not like Disney.
No, I'm not counting Disney. Yeah, exactly. If you count Disney, then it's quite a few.
What about Disney IRL performances though? Like
I've never seen one.
Okay.
I've never seen one, but because there's.
Honestly, I think because I saw The Lion King by Disney quite recently. I think I honestly preferred the Little Shop of Horrors. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, Les Miserables, which I continue to pronounce that way for the lols. Sweeney Todd,
also good. Yeah.
Moulin Rouge.
Not seen it.
It's pretty good. It was actually the first like musical I was introduced to. It was by the first girl I dated in high school. She was big into musicals and stuff, and I actually really liked that one.
I'm surprised that Lizzie hasn't been watching because she's talked about it a lot.
I've only seen the the movie version of it, and it is quite good. There's a little bit of random, but at its heart, it's actually a kind of a bit of a tragic romance, and so maybe tragic isn't the wrong word, but it's definitely bittersweet.
Okay.
But it's quite good. I did enjoy it.
Cool.
And I can't actually think. There might be a fourth one that I'm forgetting, but those are the
fourth was Moulin Rouge.
Sweeney Todd, Les Miserables, Moulin Rouge. I don't think there was a fourth one.
Did you not? I'm sure.
There might have been a fourth one out there, but I just can't think of it.
Okay, well, anyway, people who are listening could hear.
I'm not really a musical person. At least not those kinds of musicals.
I mean, we love Disney.
Yeah. Disney musicals I put in a completely different... Because there's a type of movie, a genre of movie I would classify as the Disney musical.
Yeah.
And I separate that from musicals.
And even then, I feel like Disney movies generally have 1 to 2 good, really, really good songs. And the rest are all a bit meh.
Yeah. It depends on the movie. Some of them I think have quite a few. One movie that I can think of that has quite a few good ones, the Disney's Hercules. Like I can't. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I liked every song in that movie. But that's that.
Okay.
I have one. Well, I mean, we've got about 5 minutes.
I was just checking. Yeah.
Yeah, we got about 5 minutes left. So last thing, last topic. I recently noticed, when I turned on my Switch, so I had to spend some time away from work away from home for work, and so I was staying in a hotel room. I really, limited entertainment options, so I brought my Switch with me. What I found a week or so back was that for free on the Switch, at least I think it's for free, you can get the N64 app. And it has a bunch of like some of the best N64 games. So it has like Ocarina of Time, cool. Majora's Mask, Mario 64, F-Zero. There's a few more on there that I can't think of. Perfect Dark, I think, might be on there.
Did you say Mario Kart?
Mario Kart, I'm pretty sure, is on there.
Nice.
I think there might be Mario. There's a couple Mario games on there, but I can't remember all off the top of my head. But there's about a dozen of them or so, and as far as I could see, only one of them I had never heard of, but they all seemed like they were big titles. I've been playing Ocarina of Time again, a game that I haven't beaten in years and years and years.
Honestly, when I hear about Zelda games, I think of like a really long book, and it's a book that I like, but am I prepared to spend the next 12 hours of my life reading that book?
Yeah, this was one of those things where I haven't beat it in more than a decade, and I was kind of, more than anything, I was curious if I still could beat most of it from memory.
Yeah.
And the answer was yes. There was only like 2 points where I got stuck and had to look something up. One of them was because like I had essentially solved the puzzle, but I'd solved it in the wrong location.
Gotcha.
Like there was a time where I had to stop this dude with a bomb in the future, but I was stopping him with a bomb in the past or something like that. I
fucking hated having to go to the castle like every however long to switch. I just hated that journey so much. It was so repetitive and it really annoyed me.
It did start to get on my nerves. It got a lot easier. Once you learn the Ocarina songs to teleport you to places and you get the horse, it gets a lot easier. But so far, like, I've got most of the gold skeletons, the little collective token things.
The spiders?
Yeah. I've beat every one of the temples, so I could do the final boss now if I wanted, but I want to try to get all the skeleton tokens.
Yeah.
I've got most of the heart pieces. The heart pieces I haven't had to look anything up. The skeleton guys, I was getting annoyed trying to figure out where they were, and so I started looking those up after I got like 70 something of them on my own, and then I'm like, okay, screw this. I'm just gonna start looking them up because I'm getting sick of this. But it like I am really enjoying the game. One thing I'm kind of like surprised by is there are elements of the story. There's tons of the story that isn't explicitly told to you, and you kind of have to work out from context and kind of piece it together.
Right. Yeah.
Which is something that you don't really get as much now. Like
I think there are definitely some studios which lean very heavily into that, almost too heavily.
Yeah, but they've become almost like niche studios now. That was kind of the rule of the day with a lot of these older games, or they just wouldn't have a plot at all.
For big AAA titles, I think you'd be very lucky to find a game that
had any kind of subtlety.
Yeah, I mean, Skyrim had it. If you looked for it,
to an extent, but it was kind of in the more the niche side quests.
Yeah, but even with them, like, it was a lot stronger in Oblivion, I feel like. So maybe they're just slowly edging it out.
Well, and even then, it was even stronger in Morrowind. Yeah.
I never played Morrowind.
Played that one quite a bit.
Despite owning it now on Steam.
Well, for a while we had that Morrowind multiplayer server going until my computer randomly decided that it didn't like hosting it anymore, and nothing I did could get it started back up again.
Oh.
It was weird.
Fucking with the config.
Yeah, I don't know why. This must have been my guess was a Windows update. But yeah, just a little thing, if people didn't know that, N64, you can play, because they actually have an NES, a Super NES, and an N64 now emulator on the Switch, which you can play for free all of the old like Nintendo games. Not all of them, but a decent selection of them. So like I could go back and play like, the Super Mario games, or I could now go back and play Zelda. And after I beat this one, I might play Majora's Mask, because Majora's Mask was a game that I don't remember as much about because I only beat it once. And I didn't really go back and replay it.
The main game from 64, which I enjoyed, was Mario 64.
Yep. That's another game that I only beat the whole way through once.
I think it was probably my favorite Mario game.
Yeah, for the longest time I didn't own it. When I was younger, like buying a game was a bit more of an effort. So a lot of the times I would just rent them. Like I owned an N64 console, but I only owned like 2 games, and the rest of them we would just rent. And then when they got like really cheap, in the used pile at the game store, I would get them secondhand. But so the Mario 64, like I beat it on like a marathon session one week when I had rented it.
Yeah, it used to be that like if a game came out, you'd wait a certain amount of time for it to decrease in value, right?
Yeah.
These days, a game will only decrease in value if it's a bad game.
Yeah. Well, and if in the case it's a game for the Switch or some other Nintendo console, it never goes down in value.
Yeah. There's like Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, the original. I think that's still like £20, which is like a 500% increase on whichever COD came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, there's like Red Dead Redemption 2. That game's been out for years now, and it's still full price most everywhere you look. Although they did have it like half off fairly recently in this big Steam sale. But
Red Dead Redemption 2, I almost consider one of the newer games.
It is on the PC. On the Xbox and the other consoles, I'm pretty sure it came out in 2019?
Yeah. I consider that quite recent still.
Yeah.
I think I bought it for the PS4.
Yeah, I have it for the Xbone.
And the story was flipping good. The multiplayer was absolute garbage, though.
Well, yeah. I never really got into... A lot of people get into the GTA Online stuff. Not really a fan. Never was.
I played it for a very long... GTA 5 on the PS3 for a very long time, but the moment I went to PC, and I'd kind of switched off of consoles and onto PCs at that point, it really didn't have the same sheen to it on a PC that it does on a console.
Well, one thing that... So I did beat GTA 5. I actually owned GTA 5 on the Xbox 360. And I forgot about it completely. Until one day I was like, oh, GTA 5. And I was looking through the Xbox One store, and it was like on sale for like $20. I'll play this. And in my head, I'm like, I don't think I've ever really played this. I booted it up, and I'm like, this is all really familiar. And I went over to my bookshelf, and like covered in dust, there's the Xbox 360 case with the GTA 5 in it. I was like, I did play this game before.
Yeah. Actually, Nintendo have just said that they're removing the Nintendo shop from the 3DS or whatever.
Okay.
And so all I've been seeing on Reddit is people saying, oh, they're removing the shop. We've got to buy all of the games really quickly. And there have been people just... If the Reddit posts are to be believed, people are spending so much fucking money on that right now.
That's actually something I should... So I have a Nintendo 3DS, and it's a really nice one. It's one of the black and red ones. My 2 favorite colors.
I have a blue one.
It can't read cartridges anymore because I took it on a business trip, and a bottle of shampoo exploded in my suitcase and fucked up the cartridge slot. The console still works, so I can download stuff to it and play anything that's installed on it, but it can't read any cartridges.
I think you might have missed your opportunity, but I could be wrong. But anyway, there we go.
Yeah, sorry, we're going off on tangents about random video game stuff now. This is what we talk about, a retro video game, and here we go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be... Yeah, let's end it off there. This is going to be the end of segment 1 of the TMCJ podcast. Thank you all for listening, and you'll hear us again momentarily for segment 3. Welcome back to the TMCJ podcast. We are on segment 3, our wild card segment, and this week we're back to the quiz segment, an old favorite, at least of
Yeah,
ours.
it's been God knows how many episodes since we've had one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the last one we did was I don't even think we did a Christmas one. So it's been at least that long, but maybe
Did
longer.
we not do a Christmas one?
Maybe we did. Maybe that was the last one. In which case, it's been 4 months.
That was the beginning of the time. That was just before the time when I started getting busy in real life. So
Yeah, and we had
Hopefully
to
it was.
switch this over to bi-weekly. But
yeah,
Blue has put together a quiz for me. Also, I don't know what I'm doing in editing, but presumably there are no face cams. So, yeah, enjoy whatever footage I put up instead of
Yeah.
our beautiful mugs.
this Candy Crush saga footage. There is a theme to this one because Kaiser's gleefully requested one. And no one would have expected it. It's so out there for the kind of things that we talk about. It's going to be a retro game theme. Yeah.
Woo! I mean, with the obsession I've had of like old video games lately, I've got an N64 sitting behind me. You know, I've been playing.
True.
Old
And I
games on the
have
Switch.
cheated somewhat for this particular quiz in that I've enlisted the help of Mass and Nick about a third of the way in to help me with the rest of them. And I think a couple of them aren't actually games, but they are pretty retro. So,
Works for me.
yes. Right. Are you ready?
I am prepared.
Alright, are you going to jot down which ones you get correct?
Oh, I should do that. Yep, I got my
That
notebook
would be
ready.
a good idea. Everyone at home, good luck. I don't think there are any questions in this that are specific to myself or Kaiser. So it's a fair game, but you do have to know an awful lot about old games and obscure knowledge about them.
This will be interesting.
Yes, I expect you to get 4 questions right.
Oh, God. How many are there?
15. There are 15 questions like usual.
Okay. All right. Let's go for it. I'm ready.
Okay. Question number 1. Do. How many stages are there in Pac-Man to the nearest 10?
Oh. I thought they went on forever.
No, they do not go on forever. There is a limit.
99. Seems about right.
That's your guess?
That's my guess.
Okay. The answer to how many stages there are in Pac-Man, there are 256 stages.
Oh, God. I knew it had to be some kind of a hardware limitation.
Why?
So in coding, so especially in like a lot of old games, the whole reason that Gandhi went nuclear in the original Civilization is because his pacifism score was set to 1. So when he researched democracy and got more pacifist, it went
to the
to
top, yeah.
it went down to 2 and went to the top, which was 256.
Is 250? Is that a specific number? Okay.
Yeah. It has to do with
Interesting.
the way that like the actual programming language works. I don't know
see.
the exact reason, but
Gotcha.
okay, you've got one already.
Okay. How many rings of power were forged by Sauron in Lord of the Rings? Or for Sauron, I should say.
I was just watching Fellowship of the Ring like yesterday. All right, so there's 9 for the humans,
Yep.
3 for the elves, 7 for the dwarves. So that's 16, 19. There's 1 to control them all, so that's 20. There were more in the books, I think, but in the movies they only talk about 20. So I'm going to say 20.
I am going to give you a bonus point because not only did you get the correct answer, but you also got the right divisions between the
Yeah.
races. Holy fuck. Yes, 1 in Mount Doom.
I am lucky that like yesterday I after work I was feeling a bit tired, laid down, watched like the first 20 or 30 minutes of Lord of the Rings.
Holy shit. Bam. Question number 3. Okay. Describe three of the bosses from the PS1 version of Space Invaders. That's Space Invaders 1999, I believe it's called. Also on PC, I believe.
Oh God.
I need to describe 3 of the bosses.
Fuck. I knew someone that owned this game. I did not.
I did.
Oh, God. Let's see. I'm going to say one of them is like a classic silver UFO looking thing.
Nope.
Man, damn. A giant mechanical thing with claw tentacle arms.
I'm going to need you to be a little bit more specific than that.
With a little dude controlling it.
Nope.
Damn. I was
20 seconds.
I pulled that one completely out of my ass, by the way. I'm gonna just... I give up.
Okay.
I don't remember any of them.
Alrighty, so there was a one that kind of like a boxing glove that would smash the ground.
Okay.
There's one that kind of looked like a ladybug and would shower like electric down on the field.
Okay.
There was a blue crab, a big rotating disc, a robot that looked a lot like the Mario Rob robot.
Okay.
Which fired rockets. There were 3 cubes which fired laser beams. There was a metal snake, and there was finally the shadow, or the cardboard cutout, as I like to call it, for the final boss.
Gotcha.
There was also apparently a extra boss, which was like an original Space Invader.
For 2 blind guesses, I was remarkably close to 2 of them.
Yeah, you always had the missile robot, and
I did say like a flying UFO disc, so...
the rotating disc, it wasn't like a UFO. I mean, like, it went into the Earth in like a rainbow above the character and shot like down and like... It's not a UFO.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. What's your, have you ever played Luigi's Mansion?
Yes.
Okay, what was the name of Luigi's ghost-catching machine in Luigi's Mansion?
Ghosts suck! No, it's... Oh, it had some kind of a name that had like a big number on the end of it, too. That was like...
Yeah, it's a punny name.
Oh, God. It was like the Poltergust 2000 or something like that.
I'm gonna stop the clock here.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you the point, because I didn't even think you'd get that. It was the Poltergust 5000.
Ah! I was so close. Alright, so I get the point.
I'm gonna give you the point. That's impressive, honestly. I felt you were gonna get a lot fewer of these questions, and you're already surprising me, so well done.
I have a remarkably good memory when it comes to, like, video games.
Well, you better get this next one right.
Okay. Now that I've just said that.
Who guards the Kokiri Forest?
My headset cut out for just a sec.
Oh, you back?
Give it a second. This always happens. Okay. Alright, I can hear you again. Go on.
Who guards the Kokiri Forest at the beginning of Ocarina of Time?
Oh, his name starts with an M. I always skip all his dialogue because he's such a douchebag.
You just played this game.
I know, but I hate him. I want to say it's either like Milo or Mido or something like that.
I'm gonna need a final answer.
I'm gonna say Milo.
Okay. Who guards the Kokiri Forest at the beginning of Ocarina of Time? Mido.
It was Mido! Fuck!
You didn't go with Mido. You don't get the point.
I know, but I just... At least I did remember it. I
did.
second-guessed myself and went with a more normal... Yeah.
When you're like, I'm gonna go with it, and I was like, oh, come on.
It's that close.
Holy shit. Right, question number 6. When was the original Mario Kart released? I will accept the European or the American Japan release date.
The original Mario Kart.
On the year, by the way, not anything more precise than that.
Yeah. Was it for the Super Nintendo? I'm going to say it was released in... Let's go with 1989.
Okay. Stopping the clock. It was originally released in Japan and America in 1992.
Damn.
And then in Europe in 93.
I was going to say 91, but even that would have been too early. What was it released on, incidentally? Because I was trying to guess around the Super Nintendo, but it could have been
I can't
N64.
remember. It was Super Mario Kart, I think it was.
Oh, well, then it probably was Super Nintendo.
It was...
Actually, hold on. It would have had to be Super Nintendo because the N64 didn't come out until 95.
For the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Gotcha. Damn.
Boom. Okie dokie. Question number 7. What was Mega Man's dog called?
Oh, crap. I thought you were going to ask
No,
what Mega Man was
not
called.
The name. That was not the name.
Okay, just give me a second. I thought it was going to be... I think his name was like Rocket.
That's a raccoon.
God damn it. But... Because they were named after... So there was Rock and Roll. Mega Man's name was Rockman in Japan. I thought you were going to ask that, because that would have been... I would have got that one. I'm going to say his name was Jet.
Jet.
I think it was like
answer?
Rocket or Jet or something. I'm going to say Jet.
Okay, stop the clock. The dog was Rush, the robotic dog.
I knew it was like something fast. Like, I was closer with
good
Rocket.
though. Again, holy shit! Like, you got closer than I expected. When I was asking, because I also asked some of these to like maths and stuff as well, and I think they got his girlfriend's name instead.
Yeah, her name's
Or
Roll.
something.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And
bit rude calling him the dog, but okay.
the reason for that, though, is because in Japan, he was called Rockman, so there was Rock and Roll.
Yeah. He's Rock Lee in the future. He actually looks like him.
Yeah, I mean, the face is pretty similar.
Yeah. Right, okay, question number 8. And this is going to be a, you're going to have to be fast on this one, because you've only got 1 minute.
Okay.
Name 10 characters from the Super Smash Bros. Series. Go.
Mario, Luigi, Dr. Mario, Link, Princess Peach, Princess Zelda, Ganondorf, Mewtwo, Lucario, Pikachu. Boom.
Boom. Fucking nailed that shit. I was trying to find Dr. Mario to check that, but it is in there.
Yeah, he showed up in Super Smash Melee, I think.
And you went with Mewtwo, one of the quite recent ones.
Yeah, I played... Mewtwo I liked playing him in Melee.
Yeah, also apparently Banjo-Kazooie is in it now.
Yeah, they've added a bunch of stuff to the new one. I haven't played it in a
some
while.
Weird stuff. Well done, holy shit. Okay. Well, this was meant to be an easy one, because I felt like the other ones were a bit too fucking hard, but anyway. What is the alternate name of Eggman?
Dr. Robotnik.
Fucking bad. I didn't even start the timer, because I didn't think I'd need it. Boom.
Got that one.
Boom.
All right, I'm actually... There's my 4 correct answers. So
yeah,
I've tied your estimation.
The next 2 are going to kick you in the nuts.
Oh, boy.
Wait, you've only got 4 right?
I've got 4 right so far. You're at 5.
No, that can't be right.
It's because there were a couple that I got very close on the Rush one. I switched to Milo instead of Mido, even though I had the right answer.
You got 2 points on one.
Did I?
Yeah, on the very first one, because you got you did the elves, dwarves, and men. Because I wasn't even expecting you to say
I didn't
that.
write down my bonus point. I wasn't giving myself enough credit. All right, it's 5-5.
I think I should take away a point from you for doing that.
What, because I'm humble?
Right, it's 5-4. I think you mean. No, it is 5-5.
5-5.
Yeah, bonus point.
Yeah.
Okay. Question number 10. What was the maiden that Mario rescues in the original Donkey Kong?
Oh, God, it was like Lucy or something like that. Because it wasn't Peach. She had like some generic white person name. I'm gonna go with my first.
We apologize for any people with this name.
Sorry, I'm gonna go with my first instinct and say it was Lucy.
Okay, stopping the clock. It is Pauline.
Pauline. Fuck.
But you're right. It does absolutely sound.
Hey, and no offense to any Paulines out there. My grandmother's name was Pauline. And she was a wonderful woman. So.
And she actually made a reoccurrence in Odyssey. Did you play that?
Mm-hmm.
In the New York level.
Yeah, New Donk City.
She was the singer. The red dressed singer.
Yep, I know who you're talking about.
There you go. Right, question number 11. In Doom, why was the Doom guy dishonorably discharged from the Marine Corps?
It's going to be something like, he was overly aggressive or something like that. I thought you were going to ask from, like, the new one where, like, he joined, like, the Space Jesus Marines.
Nope, it's retro for a reason.
Okay, I'm going to say he was dishonorably discharged for striking a superior officer.
Bam! Assaulting a commanding officer.
Boom! That was purely a guess based on...
It's his kind of thing, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, now for one that you'll certainly enjoy. How many star chips were needed in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TV series to get to Pegasus's castle?
Oh, it was either 10 or 20. Was it 10 or 20?
I'm afraid I only can accept one answer.
I know it was one or the other. I'm going to say 10.
You 20 say 10? Are you sure?
You try to fuck with me here?
Is that 10. Your final answer?
Fuck it, I'm going with my first instinct, 10.
Correct!
Yes!
Yes, I was trying to fuck with you.
Oh my god. Because I was trying to picture the bracelets in my head. But one of the things that was throwing me off was there were these hunter dudes that had the double-sized ones on the island, and those had 20 in them.
Right. Question number 13.
Yep.
How many copies of a card can you have in a standard Magic the Gathering deck?
4.
Not including lands.
4.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Boom. He knows his Magic the Gathering. I should have gone with the harder... Nick was giving me Magic the Gathering questions. I was like, nah, that other one sounds too tough. I'll give him this one.
You could have gone with Yu-Gi-Oh! In that game, it's 3.
True. Okay, so... Getting pretty close now. 2 questions left, okay? And we're bringing the tone down for the second to last one, alright?
Okay.
I expect a very respectful answer, okay?
Alright, I'll try. Not good at that.
The Pokemon Tower where dead Pokemon are laid to rest is located in which town?
I want to say Lavender Town.
I will say Mass and Nick both got this question correct. Are you sure you want to say Lavender Town?
I am still saying Lavender Town.
The answer is Lavender Town. Holy crap, you've got so many questions right. This is worrying. I thought this was going to be way too hard for you. What's the scores on the doors?
Currently, including the bonus point, you are at 6 and I am at 9.
Bam.
We are currently, the score is literally 69.
Thank you for making us aware of this fact. I really wanted to take points off of you now. Okay, the final question. Question number 15.
Yeah.
In the original Fallout, which vault do you start in?
Let me pontificate for a second. It is Vault 13.
And what, for a bonus point, was the experiment?
It was... Oh, God. It was supposed to be for, like... It was something to do with, like, having an absolute authority figure? Or was that Fallout 3? They were either supposed to live in complete isolation or to have...
15 seconds. 10.
I'm going to say it was adherence to an absolute authority figure.
Stopping the clock. The original Fallout, which vault do you start in? You start in Vault 13. And the experiment that was undergone was prolonged isolation.
Damn it! There was another one. I had the right answer, but I went with the other one.
You did. And the experiment failed when the water chip broke, so they couldn't get pure water anymore.
Yeah. Fun fact, in Fallout 2, I believe it is, you can find, like, you go to, like, Vault Tech headquarters or something like that, and you can find a manifest that says that Vault 13 was supposed to receive a crate full of water chips, but they got a different crate by accident, and so this other vault that didn't need them has a crate of useless water chips. And it was literally like the whole plot of that is because they had a clerical error when they were shipping out the parts for the vault.
Holy shit. Yeah, no, ironic that you would mention 69 before that, because we were talking about Vault 69, me and Mass.
Is that the one
Vault
that had
96 as well?
Is that the one that had like the 1,000 men and one woman, or?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Vault 96, I think, was that, and then Vault 69 was
the other
1,000 women and one man. Yeah. Yeah, holy shit, that was got to be the best you've ever done. 10 out of 16. No, 10 out of 17.
Yeah.
This is the bonus point.
Yeah, if we include the bonus, yeah. 9 questions
Holy
correct.
crap.
Yeah, I'm my ratio
Buzzing.
is normally a lot worse than that. So since we have a little bit of time left, the quiz finished a bit early. I do want to, because, peek behind the curtains here, we're recording segment 3 on a different day than we recorded segment 1.
Yeah.
And there has already been an update to something that we talked about in segment 1.
Is this about Twitter?
Yes, it is. Fucking literally the day after we recorded segment 1, Elon Musk made an offer to buy Twitter for $41-something million. But basically, he was willing to pay $54.20 a share, which the eagle-eyed person will notice that's $4.20 is what he offered to buy the company for. As of today, at least, there has not been a response yet. They're considering it. It's a very generous offer because I think Twitter's share price has been valued at around $30 to $40, so he's significantly overpaying for it. But I just find
They should just add like $3.60 on the end, just to fully complete the deal.
Wait, what?
423.60.
Oh, yeah. Or 420.69.
No, I don't think Twitter would do that.
No. They don't have as much of a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Or at least not that sense of humor. But yeah, no, I wanted to make that update because by the time this goes out, the information in segment 1 will be wrong. Well, not wrong, but incomplete.
Well, maybe we're going to go back to Twitter then, if it starts actually getting good.
If Elon Musk owned Twitter, I think I probably would make right now I have no social media accounts, but I think I'd use it every
Make an
now and
effort
again.
for him.
Yeah. Oh, God. But yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Oh. What you got?
No, go on.
But yeah, that's pretty much been it. That's been updated since then. Oh God, what was I gonna? There was something I was just. Something that'll probably be coming up in a future episode at some point. I've been listening to an audiobook that Blue has been recommending me for a while.
Yep.
One of his favorite dystopian novels, Blind Faith by Ben Elton. And
it's so fucked up.
It is very fucked up. It's basically 1984, but with the knowledge of social media. Like that's.
In fact, they actually mention 1984 in the book.
They do, yeah.
As an homage.
Yeah. But I was saying to Blue before the podcast, so that might be a future segment 3, or maybe it'll be its own video where we discuss the novel. But as a little preview of that, one thing that is making it difficult for me to listen to it in long stretches is, especially on audiobook, because I'm listening to an audiobook, is the way the characters... Yeah, the way the characters talk. So, most of the people in this novel are disgusting, either physically or mentally, or both. And they are very descriptive about how disgusting these people are. And then on top of that...
Let's not give away too much. I know the
again, a little sneak preview here. And the other thing that's making it hard for me to listen to is all of the characters talk in this very childish way, using very, very silly, childish slang and stuff like that. But they're talking about very explicit things, and it just makes my skin crawl. Like, just
Yeah.
it sounds weird and perverse.
So if you'd like to actually read the book before we discuss it, you've got about a week or so, probably.
Yeah, I think I'm about halfway through the novel right now.
if you don't want us to ruin it, or just skip over it until you have read it, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's one of, like Kaiser said, it's my favourite dystopian horror book. It's not horror, I wouldn't say.
No.
It's just it's a look at a very fucked up society, and it's just very interesting the way that they've kind of almost bent the rules of life a little bit. They haven't, because it's just policies and things that are different, and the way that people think, but yeah, and you'll start seeing things in everyday life where you're like, this reminds me of something from the book, and that upsets me.
Yeah. Oh, God.
That's all we'll say regarding that.
Yeah.
Did I talk about... Go on.
No. Say what you're going to say.
I was going to say, what did we talk about in segment 1? Because I had more things that I had to talk about, but I don't know if I've mentioned them already.
We talked about the Twitter thing. I talked about The Legend of Zelda that we've been playing, or that I've been playing.
Model Villages.
That's what it... Oh, yeah, you didn't talk about that on the podcast.
Yeah, so apparently not a thing in America. In England, or a few places in the UK alone. Oh, and like the Czech Republic for some reason.
Yeah, we went through a list. There's a bunch of random countries. And New Zealand.
There is such thing as model villages or model towns where people make a scale representation of a village or town, but like you are, like, let's say 5 times bigger, taller than the buildings. So it's not like a model, like a collector's thing where it's in someone's house. It's outdoors. It's made of brick. But they're like these tiny houses, and you can walk down the streets and peer in the tiny windows. And
It would
that's what
be
we're going to see.
really, really tempting to stomp around one of those things going fee, fi, fo,
Exactly.
fum.
I think a lot of people do, particularly the kids. And yeah, we went to one, and oh my god, the church in it, because they represent the church as well, and you could stick your head inside the church from, like, they took out the big window at one end, so you could, like, I mean, I certainly could fit
just,
in.
like,
You're not meant to step in, but
You could imagine your god, just shove your face in the church.
exactly. There's all these little people in the church, like, playing music and stuff. It was really cool. Yeah, because I was kind of having like we were doing touristy things, me and E, and then they had I think it was cool. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a room full of the kind of building blocks and things that were there before Lego was invented. So really old children's toys.
Do you guys have Lincoln Logs in the UK?
We've talked about this before. I can't remember what they are. Are they like Yule logs? They're not Yule logs.
No. They're like little. They're basic, again, kind of a Lego thing, but they're logs that have these little like slots carved into the ends, so you can make like log cabins and buildings and walls and stuff out of them.
Oh, I don't think we have.
Yeah,
I've definitely heard of Lincoln logs though. I don't know what they were.
Yeah, they're just when we were talking about stuff before Lego, my mind popped to Lincoln. I think I still have a set at home. Like, it's up in the attic somewhere. I want to get those and build something again.
Yeah, and there was a massive like railway set, but it was like a full diorama of a city, not from England. I don't think it's a real one. It had like a windmill and stuff, and it had sensors above like a panel, where if you put your hand over it, it would like turn on the lights in the town, or move the windmill round, or have a little like escalator move. Very cool. Me and E was standing there admiring it, just checking out one button at a time. And then this very annoying child enters the room and starts fucking jamming his hands like he's trying to karate chop ghosts over the panels and just not appreciating it at all. And I was like,
It is.
I'm old now.
It is interesting that all in this one location, you can pretend you're the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk, you can pretend you're God, and you can pretend you're a Jedi.
Yeah.
All
Jedi God, because you're also huge compared to the city.
All right. That's really cool. I'd love to go to a place like that. And when you said Model
they had
Village,
mini golf as well.
You know what? When you sent me the picture of it, that was my first thought. I was like, it looks like a mini golf course.
Oh, what, the mustard?
What?
Did I send you a picture of it?
You sent me a picture of. Well, you sent me a picture of the. Yeah, I thought you sent me a picture of it.
Did you? Did I?
I
Did
thought,
me?
Maybe you didn't. Maybe you just told me about it and I looked it up.
Oh, you could have done. But yeah, there was a little crazy golf area as well, and oh god, we were Great time. We were on like hole 5 or 6 or something, and apparently we weren't going fast enough. And the annoying kid and his parents and his brother were like started the game after we did, and they caught up to us. It was Alicia's turn to, because what we were doing was we'd take one at a time on the hole, and then we'd count the shots and then move to the next one.
Yeah.
Alicia was halfway through that hole, and then these two kids come running over, put their balls on the green, on the little crazy golf, and start hitting their balls and like jumping on the green, which moved her ball and was getting just pushed out of the way. I was livid. Control your children, sir. If there is someone on the golf course already, and we're not talking like a massive open field, we mean like a 2 or 3 meters long with a fancy, interesting building in the middle for you to go through.
I have an idea. Like, obviously, temptation. There are people out there who have their shitty kids. They throw tantrums in grocery stores and stuff like that. They do shit like that. You know, they're obnoxious to other people. The kid obviously needs, some form of discipline in its life. But you don't want to hit another person's kid. I think if the parent can't control the kid...
hit him.
No, listen to me. I think if the parent can't control the kid, you should be allowed to hit the parent.
I like your way of thinking.
See? So it incentivizes the parent to control the fucking kid. Otherwise they're going to get slapped.
Oh my god. But then, and to prove I'm not a complete misery guts, a little girl and her, gran... started playing after that, and they were lovely. And when they actually caught up to us, because again we are slow, they waited for us, and we finished our hole, and we said thank you, and then moved on. Love that.
Yeah,
really good.
Big difference between shitty kid, good kid.
Yeah, and again, I don't really blame the kid. I blame the parents in the long run. But
no. If the kid's acting like that in general, it's the parents' fault.
I like to think I was more the chilled, calm down kid when I was young. Don't know about you.
I was.
I mean, you're responsible, but I don't know how chaotic you were at the same time.
I mean, I from what I've heard, I definitely had a lot of energy as a child, but it was more focused into being a bit of a chatterbox.
Oh, I was not. I was... When my brother was like, I want to go to this place and see these shops and stuff, I was the guy that was like, if you're going to a shop, you should be going there to buy something. You do not do window shopping. Do not drag me out of the house and away from Digimon World to look round a fucking shop.
Yeah.
That was me, I'm afraid.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, I didn't necessarily like, going out... shopping and doing stuff like that, but I did when I was outside, I was the kind of kid that would just run around. But I tended to be very well behaved in public. I don't think I ever, that I can remember and that my parents have ever told me about. I don't think I ever was a kid to throw a tantrum in public or something like that.
No.
I might have done that at home, if I got into a fight with my parents, but
yeah,
it was.
I'm sure if I asked, they would come up with one, but I don't remember one.
Yeah, I'm sure there's definitely been a time that I did something like that, but it was not a routine thing if it was, and it's definitely not something that stayed in my memory.
Yeah. So what we're saying is we're little angels.
Yeah,
And
we were good kids. All of the kids were shit. We win.
Yep. There you go.
And on that note, this is going to be the end of episode 84 of the TMCJ podcast. My most successful
Guys,
quiz.
how many shit kids out of 10 do you give your childhood?
Oh, wait. I don't know how to rate this. I quite liked my childhood. So, 8, 9? Something like that.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of shit kids.
I had quite a good childhood, I think. All right, yeah. End of episode 84 of the TMCJ podcast. Thank you all for listening, and you will hear us again in 2 weeks for episode 85.